Hey everybody, this is Russ Rockwell with Russ Rockwell Reviews. I saw the Odyssey last night, so I thought I'd give my thoughts on it while it's still fresh. We're going to break a little bit from the roulette format occasionally when a big movie comes out that I want to see. And I knew I was going to see this anyways. So here's what I had to think about it. I got a couple notes here. I'm going to try to freestyle this, but I got a couple notes just to keep me on track. A couple things I liked. I like how grounded the mythology was. Christopher Nolan's really good at taking these fantastic concepts and making them feel real. It didn't completely ignore the gods existing. Kind of left some of it a little bit ambiguous, but other things not at all. There is a Cyclops. There are giant men. Is it exactly the way it's described in the Homer's text? Honestly, I can't remember. I read that in the 8th or 9th grade. And I went through a super nerdy Greek mythology phase in middle school. So I kind of have shadow memories of a lot of this stuff where I'm like, oh yeah, I think I remember that. But I couldn't speak to actual, 100% accuracy. But in the context of the movie, you have things that are, clearly not real, like the Cyclops. But the way they portray him is a different take, and it looks, I thought it looked good. I think maybe people will be divided by that since everybody has ideas in their head already about what these creatures and moments should be. But for me personally, I really liked Christopher Nolan's vision. Hades in particular, I thought looked very cool. I think I looked up a little bit again because I just get curious. I start going down the Greek mythology rabbit hole. But the part of Hades that Odysseus goes to is kind of this weird. They go towards the edge of the world, and it's kind of this area where the realm of the dead meet the realm of the living. And it's just kind of this ash and barren wasteland with the shades coming up from the ground. And I thought that was a cool look, and not what I expected. I thought they were going to go into a dark cave or something. He does his non-linear storytelling. That's a classic Nolan thing. I want to hate it. I hate flashbacks. I hate when people get too fancy. He's good at it. I tend to like it when he does it. Even going back to Memento, he's always been messing with the order a story is told. I don't know how he gets it to work. I don't know his technique. I probably couldn't do it. But I think it works because he still moves the story forward no matter which direction. If they don't do a flashback, it's not like rewinding the story. It's just showing you a moment in the past that somehow pushes the story forward. Memento is like that. Tenet, Interstellar, they all have moments where time is moving backwards or time has gone to a previous point, but the character story arc is always going forward. I don't know how he does it, but he does it, and I thought it worked. It's filmed great. Movie looks awesome. I saw it on 70 millimeter. I would love to see it on IMAX, but there wasn't one near me. That's really, it's just these big open shots. You really get a sense of them being on the water and in this vast countryside. It's really good. One little minor thing I didn't like about it, they do this depth of field thing sometimes. They get these close-ups or maybe mid-range shots on the ship, and then the background gets blurry real fast. But it's a similar lens that someone would use to make I don't know if you remember a while ago it was very popular to do construction sites or something, and it would be real, but they would use this camera lens. It kind of makes it feel like a miniature. It was a lens like that where because the depth of field would get so blurry so quickly, it made it seem didn't seem right to me. But I know that was a stylistic choice. And it doesn't by any means ruin the movie. It just didn't work for me. A couple things that I just kind of thought were interesting. I don't really think of them as like positive or negative. So Nolan's whole take on the Odyssey here is more, this is kind of a spoiler point. I don't think I spoiled anything, but going forward, we're gonna have some spoilers here. He decided to dive more into the psychological effects of the Battle of Troy on Odysseus. So from what I remember, the original story being Odysseus is very much like an arrogant hero, warlord. Like he's the hero of the story. When you read some of the stuff he does, you're like, he's kind of a jerk. Like he is not burdened by the death of his soldiers or the war at all. That's just part of being a general king. You know, he's doing his best to get people home, but you know, people die on ships. You know, it's not a big deal. This Nolan decided to take it more to like, where by the end of the film it's revealed that Odysseus has pretty much full-blown PTSD. And it was a different take. You know, it was interesting. I didn't expect it. And I think he pulled it off. I think it makes a lot of sense in current times. But it definitely makes it a bit different from the original story. The one point about that, he pretty much pulled it off. But then moments later, after they have the big flashback of him seeing all the traumatic events that happened during the Battle of Troy, and you know, he's lost his entire crew and all this stuff, and they won the Battle of Troy with the Trojan horse. Everybody knows, like, there's a lot of deception on this trick. There's a lot of battles won through deception, and he feels really traumatized by that. And then like moments later, he's like, I'm gonna disguise myself as a hobo, deceive all of these suitors, and murder them. And that's part of the story. But it just it's a little bit at odds, is all I'm saying. It didn't really matter because, was it Robert Pattinson? I never get his name right. The Twilight guy, the new Batman, who's a great actor. All the suitors, especially him, do such an amazing job of making you hate the suitors so much that Odysseus' motivations for killing them does not matter. You want to see these guys die. He has a little bit of a reason to do it, so it works. The length is 3 hours. Whew. Ugh. I like a 90-minute movie. Give me 90 minutes, I'll watch anything. You ask me to do 3 hours, that's asking too much. But I didn't get bored. I sat there, I was like, this is cool. I felt like for a 3-hour movie, it was acceptable. It did it. It never had like a big 20 or 30 minute part in the middle where you're just like, they've already done this shit. They've already talked about this, or why are they explaining this? No, it was just like kind of cool event to cool event. And yeah, for 3 hours, it was great. One little thing I did just remember, and I think this is pretty true to the original story. It's a lot of them going to islands, and then something happens, it scares them, and they just run away. So it gets to be a little bit like Monty Python's Holy Grail. Like they get on an island, and then a bunch of giants start throwing rocks at them and stuff, and they're like, run away, run away. They get to an island, there's a cyclops that starts eating them, they're like, run away. So every time they try to stop for provisions, they get like 3 steps off the boat, and are like, run away, get to the boat. But I don't think that was funny, but it didn't hurt the movie at all, in my opinion. Whew. One thing I want to note on, because I can't get away from it from my feeds, probably anybody who sees this can't either, so I just want to address it. Supposedly there's some big controversy about the film. I've been hearing about it for a year, about the casting, about how it's not enough like the original Odyssey, things like that. Casting issue, complete nothing burger. Everybody cast in this movie did a great job. There's nothing about any of these roles in particular where they need to be a certain anything. Nolan's version of this is not grounded in true Greek history. It's definitely heavily inspired by it, but there's nothing, I don't know, they're actors, they act, they did great. That's really how I feel about it. I'm not really interested in, I don't know, political agendas from anybody's side. You get a good person in a good role that fits, and let the story tell itself. And they did that, and I thought it was really good. Also, ideas about whether this is not authentic enough, or should have been more like, Homer's text or whatever. The Odyssey is one of the oldest known stories in human history. It's been written, I think it goes back nearly 3,000 years, and then there was an oral tradition before that. Nobody really knows the original story. It was telephone gamed for hundreds of years and then written down, from what I understand. There's themes, there's an idea, it's a story about this adventure getting home, the struggle, this defying the gods. All of that stuff is there. This is a story that could be retold another 1,000 different ways. You could make this story be a journey of a guy trapped on another planet trying to get home. You could do anything. We had Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Nobody said, hey, this is nothing like the Odyssey. Why is it set in South United States? Well, because obviously the Coen brothers had a clear vision of how they wanted to reimagine the story. I think Nolan's doing the same thing. His is a little bit closer to Greek, geologically or whatever in that time period. But he was not trying to he made choices to some degree to be historically accurate, and he made others that weren't. His goal was not to make the most historically accurate Odyssey that's ever been put to film. It's pretty clear that he had a vision, and he made it, and some people will like it and some people won't. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, watch or don't watch? I say watch it. I give it a big watch. Watch it on the biggest screen you can find it. It looks amazing. It's really cool. Don't let YouTubers tell you what to do. Don't watch it or watch it because I told you to. Watch it because you like Christopher Nolan movies. Watch it because you think it looks cool. Or don't watch it because you don't like it, because you think it looks too dumb. But if you want my opinion, if you think that's valuable, I say watch it. Definitely, if you can. I don't really watch too many movies in the theater anymore. This is one of the first movies I've seen in the theater in a long time where I was like, this was a better experience in the theater. So I recommend watching it in a theater if you can. If you can, wait till Netflix or whatever. Anyways, this has been Russ Rockwell Reviews. I hope this has been informative. I hope you I hope you liked my review. If you don't, that's cool too. Anyways, we're gonna do our movie roulette. It's coming along the way. Hunt for the Wilder People is in the process. So that's coming up in the pipeline. And I'll see you next time.